all sorts of little entries into the world of comedy and stand-up, because there's something in human nature that likes bad things happening to other people. Hello, my name is Alfie Noakes and I'm the creator of the London-based We Are Funny project. Now, while I've been hosting, promoting and emceeing comedy shows for over a decade, back in 2013 I launched the We Are Funny project, which is designed to bring maximum opportunities to professional and amateur comedy talent. I just have to do that to give the smoke time to clear. Sorry to the people sat over here. We've only recently introduced the smoke machine. I'm not convinced we'll ever use it again, but thank you for being the We Are Funny project guinea pigs. Give yourself a big round of applause for coming out tonight. I'm hoping that clapping will waft away the smoke. That's really what I'm going for, folks. Over the years, I've hosted over 1,000 comedy gigs. I've promoted over 1,500. All in all, we've staged about 26,000 performances for around about 5,000 comedians. I have a dream. So now it's time to launch the We Are Funny project YouTube channel. My idea is to make this something of a magazine style channel for comedy fans and comedy performers. We're going to have tips on writing, generating material, comedy reviews and some rather extraordinary unseen footage from one of the late great heroes of stand-up comedy.
I've heard of these Faustian bargains. Well, compromise now and later you will own the network. That doesn't work like that. I've never known it to work like that. And that's the whole deal.
So do you consider comedians like Hope and these guys sold out?
No.
Or they would, you don't?
No. They did what they did and I do what I do and everyone has a place.
Great.
There's a place for Benny Hill, there's a place for Jonathan Swift, there's a place for Bill Hicks. In between Benny Hill and Jonathan Swift.
Yeah.
Picture Jonathan Swift with naked women running around him. That's me.
Now in this video today, the debut piece on this channel, I'll provide you with the first of many quality tips on creating jokes, performing stand-up, improving your public speaking, and getting far better at experiencing the joy of making other people laugh with your takes on the world. I'll be advising you on how to avoid the horror of sitting at a blank page or a screen and suddenly trying to generate new material. Frankly, that is one of the worst ways to get ideas flowing and is easily avoided. First though, a little bit about me. Now the fact is, I'm not even a comedian. I don't want to be a comedian. I'm an MC and I'm a promoter. I've been immersed in live comedy for over a decade, and because I like to watch the acts, really watch the acts, and I've learned so much about what does and does not work on stage. Now, in addition to personally teaching the MCing for Open Mic workshop, the We Are Funny project brings a range of around 16 different comedy-focused one-day workshops, all taught by standing industry professionals. Our Punching Up Your Stand-Up workshop is even taught by a Perrier Award winner, the grand prize at the Edinburgh Arts Festival. We run workshops on everything from comedy storytelling to mimicry and satire, how to write comedy for radio and television, through to clowning. It's the whole range of comedy writing and comedy performance. Now, one of the beautiful benefits for me is I then get to take some of their ideas into my live shows and find out just how good they are. And it turns out their advice is almost always excellent, because just as many times I've taken in the idea of what not to do, what they said not to do. Now, before I bring them on, I'm going to tell a joke. So I've had the hardest crashes, I've had the biggest deaths on stage you can imagine, but at the same time, after all these years of experience and all of these wonderful lessons, I've been able to crush shows. I've gone home walking on air. The adrenaline is rushing through my body from a successful show. And the majority, though not all of my shows have been open mic, thus I've witnessed hundreds of first-time performers pop their chuckle cherry. I've long been inspired by witnessing fresh acts persist, endure their crashes and soak up their successes, hone their performances and material, and now many of that generation which started in my venues have gone on to the greatest possible successes in British comedy, such as headlining live at the Apollo, appearing on Mock the Week or If I Got News For You, starring in their own sitcom, hosting their own BBC Radio 4 shows, writing newspaper columns, and yes, of course, each and every one of them now has a podcast. Every single one. Earlier I promised you some advice on escaping the dispiriting effect of sitting with a blank page or screen as it's time to write some comedy. So here's a tip for you. What I recommend you do is, with that blank page, just start writing down the worst things you can think of from your own life experience. It could be the worst holiday you ever had, the worst date you ever had, your most embarrassing moment. It could be the worst outfit you ever wore, the nastiest thing anybody ever said to you. It could be the worst thing you ever said to somebody else. Just brain dump it. Put it all down on stage. Put it all down on page. I'm obsessed with stages, folks. This is why I'm here, of course. Put it all down on page. Because what you'll find at the end of it is there are all sorts of little entries into the world of comedy and stand-up. Because there's something in the human nature that likes bad things happening to other people. Comedians know it, and comedy audiences often get to enjoy it. I'm not suggesting you make your entire set about sad, dispiriting experiences, but it's certainly a good launch pad. Comedy equals tragedy plus time is indeed true. So that terrible social faux pas you delivered when you were 17 is probably going to be that bit more funny 10 or 15 years later. You can draw upon that. You can talk about the responses from the people around you. You can talk about the way that you felt. You can talk about the way you reflect upon it now. And then, having tapped into your memory to get some of this material, you can then tap into your imagination to make it all the more funny. Your memory can be part of the setup, but your imagination will create part of the punchline. This isn't the only tool in your box. This is just a tool in my box that I'm happy to share with you. For now, you have been a witness to the first posting of the We Are Funny Project YouTube channel, and for that I will be eternally grateful. My name is Alfie Noakes. Bye bye. If you like the tips we're sharing here, please do like and subscribe, because that really helps us build the channel.